Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CNT podcast. My name is Tommy Terrio.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it is. Last time I checked. And your name?
Tommy Terrio.
All right.
Two,
All right, here we are.
the second one.
This is the goofball Justin Yormark. Justin, what's our card of the week for today?
Got that 2019 Topps Gallery rookie, Pablo Lopez, that has a little bit of writing on it.
The next scribble you got going
And
there.
that little scribble is from Pablo himself.
Nice. Shout out. Got that. We got that yesterday at a game that we went to together. Shout out.
Mhm.
Even though the Mariners got clobbered.
Pablo Lopez, though. Top tier.
That's the guy. Yeah. It was not a great game, but getting that auto was pretty sweet. I'd say got that really fast into when we were there.
Yeah, as soon as he was done with his bullpen, he came running over to us. He was really excited to see us.
Something like that.
He was excited to see us.
Yeah. We'll go with that one. I think that sounds better. So from the title of the video, you guys saw we are talking about the upcoming MLB trade deadline, some players that are going to get traded, some teams that we think buying, selling, talking about both of our favorite teams at some point, it'll be discussed. So
let's start with the Rockies because they have the chance to do something that I really want them to do.
Trade everybody. Well, not everybody.
Okay.
The two biggest guys that should be
traded. Why
traded.
don't you let me do the talking? Because I got a mock trade for everyone.
And yet I'm the Rockies
fan. Okay, but I have the mock trade.
All right. I'll let him do this thing. I can sit back and enjoy it. This is the best part. This is something that, if you guys are new here, this is something that I do pretty much every week. Is I get to take a minute and just enjoy while Justin, talks.
The Colorado Rockies suck. True?
Yeah.
The Colorado Rockies have a great farm system. True. So, what do they not have in their farm system?
Pitching. Good pitching.
They have one good pitcher, Gabriel Hughes.
Mm.
That's it. He's a dog. What do the Rockies have this year at the MLB level that they shouldn't?
A lot of veteran hitters.
All-star catcher. What is a team that is low-key contending that doesn't really have a catcher?
The Red Sox.
And the Marlins.
Yeah.
The Marlins' number one prospect, Max Meyer. He's good. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really need the pitching. I mean, the Miami Marlins are great at developing arms. They have a ton of great pitching right now.
Well, Sandy kind of fallen off, but
Sandy, I'll come back.
Okay, whatever you need to tell yourself.
So they got Yuri Perez, who's even better than Sandy was.
Yeah.
They don't fully need Max Meyer. If the Marlins really want to go in, you go out and get Randall Grichuk from the Rockies, as well as Elias Diaz and cash consideration for Max Meyer. The Rockies get a stud ace potential player. It's a risk. It's a big risk, but I think they should do it. Help them boost up that pitching.
I don't love Meyer of all of the guys because he's coming off of Tommy John.
That's why you can get him for so cheap.
That's not cheap. That value is not there.
If
I'm being honest, I don't think the value is there for that. That's a lot, but two of the three big veteran guys that you would consider the Rockies to trade. If that's what you're going out and getting, I don't think that's worth it. I think I would want to get someone better than Max Meyer and someone I trust a little bit more.
I have another mock trade. I have another mock trade that's a little cheaper. It's just Elias Diaz and cash considerations, but you go out and get Marcelo Meyer from the Red Sox, who has been all right, kind of struggling at the big league level. I feel like that's a bigger gamble, but it's also a cheaper price.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I mean, I think it does come down to pitching. Like if you are going to go over to Boston, I think Brian Bello is one of those names you look at.
That's what I said. Did I say Meyer?
I meant Marcelo Meyer.
Okay, you cannot trade for Marcelo Meyer with that little. I meant Brian Bello.
Yeah.
Brain fart. Yeah. I meant Brian Bello for Elias Diaz and cash considerations.
Yeah, I would consider doing that for sure because you look at what the Rockies have lacked throughout all of time was like a dominant and really dynamic pitcher. It's like we've had a lot of good pitchers, a lot of guys that can plug the hole and do extremely well when it comes to. I mean, you figure we made it to the World Series with the pitching staff that we had, but still, I don't love the idea of not having a truly dynamic pitcher.
Mm-hmm. They need pitcher. I mean, they got a Moore going to come up soon. They got Tovar, who's a dog. They got Drew Romo, Hunter Goodman,
Zach
Betty
Veen when he gets
Montgomery,
healthy.
Zach Veen. Like they got guys.
Yeah.
Now you have any more to say on the Rockies? Any other prospects you want to target?
Prospects that I want to target, no. But just the one other guy that I wanted to bring up was CJ Crone.
CJ Crone. I
I
think
think CJ Crone I think has the good value that I would want to, that I would be, interested in going after. And seeing what at least testing the market, seeing what you can get for him is, because I don't know what you're looking at in terms of the market value for him.
I have another little matrix that I just put up together. I'm looking at so I've on my phone I have the prospect rankings up just so I see top 100 teams, top prospects, and just so I have it and so I can
Sure, yeah.
quote.
Yeah.
So the number 3 left-handed pitcher prospect is Andrew Abbott from the Reds. Would you consider doing Elias Diaz, Randall Dretchik, and CJ Crone for Andrew Abbott, who hasn't been called up yet, I believe. He's not coming off injury.
Can you give some stats here?
Not coming off any injury. He has been in the majors. He's played a little bit. He's 4-2 with a 2.45 ERA in the majors.
So Coors adjusted, that's about a 3.7 ERA. It's better than anything else we have going for us. I still don't love Grit. I still feel like we can get more for Grichuk and Diaz than a single pitcher.
And okay, but Andrew Abbott is he's gonna be a stud. He's a top 100 prospect. He's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Let's see where he's at, because this could maybe have a factor on you.
Yeah.
What team? Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's number 57.
Yeah.
Number 57. It's not bad.
I would consider it for sure. But still, I don't know if I love the value for the two.
What if you also got Chase Petty, the number 6 prospect, who's not in the top 100, but this year has a 1.93 ERA in high A.
I'd be happy with that.
So if you got Chase Petty and Andrew Abbott, you would do that?
Yeah. It would be those two for Grichuk, Elias Diaz, and some money.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I'll go with that.
I think that could be a good trade for them too.
I don't think the Reds would take it.
Probably not.
Because you have Tyler Stevenson.
But they could also offload Stevenson, or they just use Elias as a mentor to him.
Or the DH. There's still enough.
Yeah,
There's still room on that team for for a better DH.
Mm-hmm.
Could you figure their starting DH right now is? I don't know. Who do you figure the DH is on that team?
I don't know.
Right now, their DH is Jonathan India.
But they saw him at second. He was second.
Over Matt McLean. Yeah. I feel better at Jonathan India. I think there's room for it. That's fine by me.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the Cubs. There's 2 ways the Cubs go. The Cubs could sell, or the Cubs could buy. You want to start with selling or buying?
I'm gonna start with selling.
Selling. Okay. So the only people that really sell would be Cody Bellinger and Stroman, I feel like.
Nico Herner.
No.
How old is Nico?
He's 23. It makes no sense to sell him. He's under control for 5 more years. We're not trading Nico.
I got it. All right. I get to see Justin's spelling.
Everything was spelled right. Not Nico. He's 35 million for the next 3 years, under control until 2026. We're not trading him.
Oh, it's good value though if you're a team trying to get him.
We're not trading Nico.
I think they should. Because
it makes a lot of value. Sense. Who would take him? The Orioles?
Yeah.
Realistically, we would need to get Colton Cazor, Heston Kjerstad, Connor Norby, and maybe Toby Meyer as well. And then even DL, he's under contract for 3 more years at a very cheap price. And he's a top 10 second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to trade him. He's part of our young core.
All right, so Stroman
has been linked to the Blue Jays a lot, so that's what I'm going to look at. Yeah.
All right.
Looking at the Prasini, who I would want. I'd want Ricky Tiedemann, but I don't know if they're willing to do that.
All right, I'll go down the other major route that's been pros than the Houston Astros.
We would need the number one, Drew Gilbert, because the Astros prospects aren't great. We would need the number one.
All right, what you seeing?
A trade. I want the Cubs to buy. I don't like Stroman wants to be in Chicago. He wants to be there long term. I want him there long term. But if the Blue Jays were to offer Ricky Tedman, Olivis Martinez, Adam Macko, and
So you want to sell them to sell a farm for
for a pitcher who's been a top 5 pitcher in baseball this year.
whoa. Clayton Kershaw, Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez, Shohei Ohtani, all better. Agreed.
Otani's a better player. I wouldn't say he's a better pitcher.
All right, we get to go down this road now. All right, let's have some fun, shall we?
Okay, I'm looking up Otani's stats and you look up
Stroman?
Stroman's stats.
Okay.
And we'll go one stat at a time. Actually. Which one are you on baseball reference?
Yep.
So am I somehow.
All right, standard pitching. You missed it. You went past it. Nope. Back down. Wait for it. There it is. Standard pitching. And there, he made it.
Okay. Win-loss record, we agree it's not that important, but we should mention it.
Yeah.
What's Stroman's?
10-6.
Otani is 7-5.
Yeah, can't really blame him for it, but it is what it is.
Like they're both on like mid teams that are somewhat contending, somewhat not.
Yeah.
Both are considered like they could either both teams could buy or sell. What's the ERA?
2.88.
3.5 for Otani.
Okay.
What's that? What's another stat you want to use? I want to use quality starts.
Okay.
How many for Stro?
Let me see if I can find it. 1 second.
It should be GS, right?
That's a game started, genius. All right. Justin thinks apparently quality it starts with a G. All right. No, maybe Stroman has been a better pitcher this year. Maybe I was wrong, but like you have Spencer Strider still there, better.
No.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, now we're going down this rabbit hole. I will die on this cliff. Okay, win-loss record.
I don't know. I was just naming off names. I could be completely wrong.
Win-loss record. Okay, Strider's 11-3.
Well, yeah, that's because he plays for the Braves.
ERA 3.66.
2.88. So, I'm just naming names, but I struggle to think that
There's not here. I'll pull up someone else's list that I agreed with for the most part on Instagram. I think it had him at 3, or maybe it was 6. I think it had him at 5 or 6. I had him at 4. Had Garrett Cole, Shane McClanahan, and Clayton Kershaw over him, and that was it. I agreed with this list for the most part.
I think Framber Valdez and Zach Gallen are low on that list. They have
Huh?
Framber Valdez at 7 and Zach Gallen at 10.
Okay. But this shows what at worst, he's a top 6 pitcher. You want a top 6 pitcher in the league, you have to sell your farm.
I don't think anybody's gonna be willing to pay for it. Paid the Pied Piper.
Okay. And
And he's gonna be stuck in Chicago. And
he wants to be in Chicago. Like
what
Stroman
the
has
problem-
said that
how
he
old is
wants to
Marcus Stroman
stay.
at this point?
He's 31, so he still has a few more solid
Yeah,
years.
he's 32 at this point.
32.
So
But he's
Okay.
had his birthday this year. Like he just
the
short 32.
area of contention, if you're the Cubs, is 2025. Let's say.
Yeah. I mean, they could make the playoffs next year, but like realistically, for a shot at a title, 2025 seems
2025. At that point, he's 34. He's not going to be a top 15 pitcher in baseball. I
I
don't.
don't know that. I mean, we see Clayton Kershaw, he's like 34, 35.
Yeah.
And he like you can't say that just because of his age.
This is also like the first year that he's ever been this good. So
Mhm.
when
But
can
who's to
he-
say
yeah,
he found his stuff now and he's gonna be great for the rest of his career?
because people don't find their stuff when they're 32. People find their
Is Stroman not like? Are we going back to like Stroman has found his stuff at 32 right now?
I don't see the value for a number of teams unless you're a Dodgers, unless you're a Yankees, unless if you're a Ray, I mean, the Rays could do it.
Rays. Let's Let's look at the race. That's an
All right, he's
interesting
about to
one.
ask for Wander Franco. Check this
No,
out.
I'm not.
Check this out. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right, give Justin a minute. He's trying to remember where T falls in the alphabet.
See, I don't. Their farm system's weak. I would consider.
But they just don't have any big names. That's
Yeah,
my
I would
thing, too.
consider Tortoise Mead as part of it. Tortoise Mead's pretty good. I consider Tortoise Mead, Kyle Manzarado, and Paul Wilcox, which is their 3, 4, and 8. I feel like that's a discounted price, so maybe throw in cash considerations as well. I would consider that. That still feels like we're getting fleeced. Because I don't even think Tortoise Mead's top 100.
What's Stroman's contract look like?
I'll pull up in a second. I want to see what Tortoise Mead falls.
Yeah, I got it. I'll pull it up. Here, I'll pull it up and let you guys see it too. How about that? You guys have been kind of kept out of the loop with our research as we're looking down doing.
Okay, Tortoise Mead and Kyle Manzarado are both top 100. So no, I guess maybe not as unfair.
So I think you guys should see this and react to this right along as I do. Oh, well, both of us will. Let's do this. All right. Okay, so we're looking at Marcus Stroman.
You have to the newsletter. You got it. Excellent.
Oh, jeez.
Never used the web before.
Apparently not. Is there a W or not?
I'm pretty sure there is.
Just
No, it isn't.
I was right. Great. So he's a player option, which he is going to take for $21 million. I'm
That's
taking
not that
heartbeat.
much. I mean, in today's day and age, for a top 6 pitcher in baseball, 21. It's
But
that's a
say,
doable for a contending team. That's doable.
but
That's
say
not
you trade
outrageous.
for him, right? Is he going to want to stay and still pick that up? Who knows? Does he like the scenery? Does he like the team around him? Does he like the manager? There's a lot of variables, and even after that, you have him for a year and a half. You sell your farm for a year and a half. It's great. It's high quality pitching. We both agree on that.
Mhm.
But what are you getting back for that?
A stud pitcher, like
It's a stud pitcher for a year and a half.
which
then he's
for
gonna-
a contending team.
But then he's going to ask for a ton of money.
It's nothing. But
and you're
here's the
not-
thing: for a contending team,
Yeah.
for like who was I wanting to, for the Blue Jays, that makes sense for them to do that. And then if they want to pay him, they can or they can't.
I'm not doing it from the Blue Jays. They've been kind of
Mm,
disappointing this year.
Maybe not, but or if they really want to make a splash and
Yeah.
really want to turn it around.
Yeah. I think
that's
the
that.
Dodgers are really just the team that makes sense. They just, that's just what they do is they just,
Mhm.
keep dishing out prospects. That still just makes sense to me. I don't know.
For the Dodgers, I'd want Dalton Rushing, Gavin Stone, and Andy Pages, and maybe Ryan Pepiot, if they're willing to throw him in. I feel like that's realistic and fair. Like 3 of those 4 guys.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to ask. I think that's a fair asking price.
Agree to disagree, but
Okay, well, you want us to give him away for nothing.
well, because the Cubs farm system is relatively atrocious.
It's not that bad. I mean, a lot of our guys are up right now, like Nico, and Nico's up. He was a number 1 for a while. You got Pico Armstrong, who is a top 10 prospect, Cade Horton and Ben Brown, who are both top tier pitching prospects, and Kevin Alcantara, who's, I believe, in the top 100. Yeah, he's number 100.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked into that one. That's a solid farm system. It's not great, but like there's some teams who have like none. Like the
Yeah.
Braves have 1. We have 4 in the top 100. The Astros have 1.
Yeah, because they're all their guys. are up.
Athletics have 2.
'Cause the A's are
D-backs have
trash.
3. Yeah, but if the A's are trash, then the farm system should be good.
By the way, Diamondbacks farm system's better than yours. They got 2.
Yeah.
They got 2 guys in the top. Like all 3 guys are in the top 22. So top 25. So I don't know.
Bad teams are supposed to have good farm systems.
I'm curious to see how that goes.
It seems like the Yankees have been linked to Cody Bellinger the most. I'll be honest, Cody Bellinger, it's going to be about $17.5 million for a 1-year deal. We won't, if we do trade him, we're not going to get a lot. I know that. With that being said, I think it's fair to assume we would get a top 10 prospect from their system. If I'm looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
Trey Sweeney would be a dream. I don't think they give up Trey Sweeney for it.
No,
Honestly, I think Will Warren,
I don't know. You hate Jason Dominguez. You could take him.
they wouldn't trade Jason Dominguez for a year of Cody Bellinger. Now he's being outrageous with the trades. You.
I mean, you hate him. You don't value. You don't put any value behind him. So
I don't hate him. I just think we're putting a lot of pressure on a really young guy.
how's he doing this year?
We're looking at
Yeah.
14, Clayton Beetle, I would like.
Yeah.
So I went out of the top 10, but I think he should be in the top 10.
No, I can understand that one. Though.
He's hitting 220 this year, 741 OPS, 12 home runs, 99 strikeouts, 25 stolen bases. Again, just like put a lot of pressure on him to be this stud.
Yeah.
It's gonna stunt him a little.
Mm-hmm. And he's having a very like normal like growth period in
Yeah,
terms of
like-
like how he's doing. He's what, 20 right
He's
now?
20 in AA. This is his first year in AA. Like, it's not bad. It's
Like-
not like sending downward. It's not calling up.
No,
just
I would say
AAA.
I would set him at 20. Like he's like 22. He gets up into the majors. Like
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
People
Like,
just put too much hype around him, expecting to get there.
like he was what,
sooner.
16 or 17 when he was first signed, right?
Yeah, his ETA is 2024.
Well, it depends when he does it. I mean, does it the rest of the year and then in spring training, like he could
Mm-hmm.
be called up. But I mean, you also consider Yankees like outfield has been this entire year.
He's
Has not
20.
been. So yeah, no, I don't hate it. I'll be honest.
But also it's not as good as people making it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the Cubs buying, like they have 2 top 10 pitchers. Just we tell borderline. 2 top 15. I would say 2 top 12 for sure. But
I'll go
15
top 15
for
to
sure.
be safe. Yeah.
Top 15 for sure. Justin Steele, dog.
Yeah. Justin Steele is kind of a variable, like just on where you want to put him. But
I put him in like the 9 to 12 range.
I could see anywhere from 9. I could see reasonably anybody putting him from anywhere from 9 to 15. Like I could see that reasonably.
Outside of 15, I don't think it's
outside
reasonable.
15, but anything 9 to 15, I think is reasonable.
I can get behind that.
So you have
So
that
who would we
base.
buy? That's the question.
That's the question. It's like there's really okay. So what's the major
Like-
hole for the Cubs?
I mean, Patrick Wisdom has been a struggle at third base.
Patrick Wisdom has been god awful. Trey
Like-
Mancini is kind of a liability just in terms of just
I mean, we kind of need a first baseman. We have Matt Morvis, who's been up a little bit.
he's been up and down.
I mean, we really kind of need relievers, like Daniel Bard from the Rockies. You've been talking to me about him, how good he's been.
Yeah.
Let me put him out trade for Daniel Bard.
Here, let me throw up baseball reference for
Hmm.
home.
I don't think you can get like. I think the best prospect you can get is probably like Alexander Canario for him. Maybe Caleb Killian and Alexander Canario for Daniel Bard.
All right, here let me throw the stats up so you guys can see for Daniel Bard as well. If Justin's computer wants to work with us here.
Ooh, it's pretty good.
That's what.
But
I'm
he's
saying.
also he's 38.
Yeah.
Rental.
Mm-hmm. His contract. Let's see. What is his contract? Do we think?
It's probably the last year on it.
Yeah, last year or two. I don't know. I'm trying to remember when we signed him last. It's been a minute since I've seen anything. He's just always been there. It feels like. Daniel Bard. Daniel Bard has remaining on his contract. He has one more full year. This year and next.
So the Cubs aren't really like unless we sign someone big in the offseason. So the best I can do would probably be Caleb
But it's
Killian.
9.5 mil for a really good closer.
I could
that
give
just
you
don't have.
I could give you Caleb Killian and Moses Ballesteros and cash.
I'm not taking that, honestly.
Okay. What about James Trantos and Caleb Killian?
I wouldn't hate it. Let me see Triantos' stats. 288. 288 batting average. Let's see. I don't hate it. I'll go. I would consider. I would highly consider that.
I don't know if I would do it because like I want to think the Cubs are going to contend, but like it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm. It's also hard to know. I mean, like that's really when
Mhm,
like
like,
really
Dodie
is a
Yates.
factor. Yeah. Like how much more does he have in the tank?
Mhm.
He's overcome so much already, but still it's hard.
Who's on like the trading block? I'm saying the Cubs can maybe go and get Brian Reynolds. They want to trade him in the division. Otani, no. Horns want to trade him in division. German Marquez, I don't really think we
David
need him.
Bednar. I mean, while it's in
Bednar-
while it's in division, the Pirates are always willing traders. So like,
Mhm.
I don't hate Bednar I don't hate
Bednar-
Bednar for the Cubs.
See, Bednar, because he's a lot younger, we'd have to give up more. Maybe throwing it out there, Brennan Davis and Jordan Wicks for Bednar.
Bednar, yeah, maybe. What about like a Clark Schmidt from the Yankees?
Clark Schmidt.
Like one of those relievers, like in the Yankees pen.
Clark Schmidt.
'Cause there's a lot of talent
If
in
they're
there.
willing to sell on Clark Schmidt, I could offer him a similar package as I
Yeah.
would for Bednar.
Or
Like,
maybe like a Scott Barlow, like out of Kansas City.
yeah, like I again for that like level, I would offer like Alexander Tenorio and Jackson Ferris or Brendan Davis or Jordan Woods. Like, not all of them, like a mixture of
A
them.
mixture of, yeah.
Like that's the
I
range for
wouldn't. I mean,
that.
I wouldn't hate that deal if I'm either side, because like you guys. I mean, I imagine you would have them around for longer. They wouldn't be too expensive to bring back.
Mhm.
Be a good deal.
No, I'm just gonna do this craziness.
Okay.
Just
Talk to me.
stay with me. Mock trade for Otani from the Cubs. I know it will never happen. I know it never happened. But realistically, if we offer Justin Steele, Pete Crow Armstrong, Ben Brown, Jordan Wicks, Brendan Davis, is it? It's not horrible. Maybe add in Nico.
Since we're talking Otani, can I get my PSA on Otani?
Yeah.
This is the hottest take that I can give you right at this moment. No team should want to trade for Shohei Otani at this trade deadline.
Hot take. If they plan on bringing him back, like, I don't think for a rental, no. But if you're like the Yankees or Dodgers, you're trying to give him that taste of money and want to resign, I think they should.
Outside of a team who is willing to shill out, quadrillions of dollars, no team should want Shohei Otani, whether you're the Cincinnati Reds, which is a team I've seen a lot, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Mariners. No matter who you are, you do not want Shohei Otani. You are destroying your team and its future for half a year of not a guarantee. Like, maybe you sell the farm if like you're guaranteed a championship, but like I don't feel like any team outside of the Atlanta Braves like instantly becomes like the like ideal team to win it. Outside of the Atlanta Braves, no team is the ideal team to win it if they trade for Shohei Otani. So I don't think that any team should trade it because so let's just go with the Orioles, right? You're going Kjerstad, Holiday. You're gonna, I mean, what do you lose in exchange for?
I think the Orioles could actually maybe do it. Same with the Diamondbacks. So let's dive into.
But they're such young teams.
I know, but like, I want to do the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks, I would say, have the best farm system.
Yeah.
Like, even the guys not in the top 100, but in the like top 10, like, are really good. Like AJ Vukovic, who's number 11, underrated. Number 10, Yu Min Lin, really good. Ivan Melendez, dude, he has been raking left and right and left and right and right and left.
Texas legend.
So let's be real here. Jordan Lawler would have to be a part of the deal.
Yeah, agreed.
Drew Jones, a part of the deal.
See, you're trading away you're trading away your future for no guarantee.
They still have Corbin Carroll,
Zach Gallen,
Merrill Kelly. Well, he's on the old side, but yeah, you have him. I know I'm trying. Alec Thomas, like, I think they can afford it. Yeah, I think they can afford it. So Jordan Lawler, Drew Jones, Davison De Los Santos, the number 4, Ivan Melendez, and AJ Vukovic and cash. I think realistically, they should offer that, and if the Angels accept, I think that's a good trade for both sides. They keep Brendan Paffett, who's been pretty good in the minors, struggling in the majors. They still keep Blake Walton, Landon Sims, Blaze. They keep, they still have a decent prospect system. Plus, they still have Corbin Carroll, who was the number 1 prospect going into the year, who is now graduating. You'd also add the best player in baseball. They instantly become like a realistic like contenders for years, assuming they can re-sign Otani.
Yeah, that's a massive assumption. How much cap space do they have though? Like that's here.
I think they have a good amount.
Let me pull it up. All right.
Team payrolls.
All right, you guys get to see this with us as we react to this one.
Oh my God, we got a misty appearance.
Let's see. Do any cap space? So we need to organize it by.
Go to team payrolls.
They're at 21st in terms of team payroll,
So they have money.
so they would have money.
And who better than use the talent than Otani?
Yeah.
He wouldn't be their ace.
Or, question, do you wait till the offseason? Which is what I think a lot of teams should consider doing, is you wait till the offseason, you get more money off the books with like veterans that leave, and then you can chuck all the money that you want at the greatest baseball player to ever grace planet Earth.
Mhm.
Only problem also, what's the contract for Shohei Ohtani look like?
500 million minimum.
10 years, say it's 10 years, $500 million, right? Pop quiz for all of you, hanging out, having a good time at home tonight, today, tonight, whatever. Whenever you guys are watching this, I have a question for you guys. How old is Shohei Ohtani?
29.
So 10 years, $500 million. So he's 29 now. He's 30. Are you paying $50 million to a 39-year-old?
Yes, because you can front load the contract for when he's good and in his prime.
Still, that's a lot of money.
But you get Otani's
You also,
prime.
but like I think that's better. Yeah.
You get Otani.
What has that done for the Angels? I counter that argument with the fact that baseball is a sport that is so much more individualized, right? So I'll use a basketball analogy, right? Say the Minnesota Timberwolves, no, the Trailblazers, they're going to trade Damian Lillard. Say they acquire a bunch of assets and they go buy Luka Doncic. Shut up. Sorry, Justin.
Just mean.
So say they go buy him. Luka can do a lot more to carry a team than a Mike Trout or a Shohei Ohtani can, just because of it's a much more connected team game rather than the individualized sport that is baseball. So I just think that Shohei Ohtani is a major question mark in terms of the Angels have had Trout and Ohtani, the two best players in baseball, for 5 years.
They've done nothing else to help them.
Yeah, and if you trade for Shohei Ohtani, you are intentionally worsening your team, putting less and less around him. So, is it worth it to trade for him? I don't think so.
For some teams, I think so. Because like you said earlier, it is a wide open for who's going to win this year. Like, there's no set favorite. A lot of the big teams like the Dodgers and Astros are kind of struggling.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Diamondbacks, okay. I mean, still they're underperforming to their
to what they
standard.
should be. Sure.
If you are the Diamondbacks and you're seeing Corbin Carroll play at an MVP level, you're seeing everything come together and click, and you think, wow, we can maybe really make a push this year. If you go out and get Ohtani, if they got Ohtani and didn't trade anyone from the major league roster, they would be my favorites to win the World Series with Ohtani. Because then in the playoffs, you have a rotation of Zach Gallen, Ohtani, Muriel Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Ohtani's not pitching, you have Ohtani,
Corbin Carroll,
Lourdes
Jr.
Yeah.
No, it's a damn good team until you lose Shohei Ohtani in the offseason to Yankees who can spend $700 million. It's just so difficult, I don't know. The Shohei Ohtani debate is really just good. I mean, let me put it to you this way. I can understand why a team would want to trade for Shohei Ohtani. Like I said, he is the best player on planet Earth, quite possibly ever. The only reason he won't be the greatest Major League Baseball player of all time is because he hasn't played is because he hasn't been in the majors long enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when you really get into the question of, can someone be the baseball GOAT if they played both in the NPB and then in the majors? Because if you say so, Shohei Ohtani could quite easily be the GOAT by the end of his career. I just don't think that that's ever been the criterion that at least we as American audiences have worked with.
Says, like, as good as Japan is, it is not the MLB. It is not the best league in the world.
I think WBC has some questions about that.
Well, look at all the team. Ohtani was on Team Japan that won. Where does he play? He plays in the MLB.
Yeah.
Multiple people on each team play in the MLB.
Yeah, Lars Nootbaar was also on the Team Japan team.
Mm-hmm. He's in
the
MLB.
Shout out Lars Nootbaar, by the way. Shout out.
That goes to show that like MLB players, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure all of the contending teams had at least like two or more MLB players. I mean, Team USA, who were the runner-up, they were filled with MLB
It was only
all-stars.
MLB.
Yeah,
Was there anybody missing from that team? There was a couple. We were missing some good pitchers. We didn't have that many great I mean, we had some good pitchers.
I mean, it's hard to get pitchers to commit. Like Kershaw was coming off injury, Scherzer's DeGrom was coming off injury. Like,
yeah,
it's hard for pitchers to commit. It's easier for like a Trout to go and play than a DeGrom to go and play.
That's Captain America right there.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ohtani question, I think there is no wrong answer to it. Let's put it that way. Like me personally, I'm not like if I'm the GM of any team, I'm not trading for him. But on the same like at the same time, I can understand like where the motivation comes from to trade for him.
Okay, what about trading for Trout? Where do you stand on that?
It's gonna be a lot lower value.
Exactly. This is the lowest Trout's value has been ever.
I mean, obviously he's getting up there in age. One, right?
It's still Mike Trout.
He's been in the league for 10 years.
You get Trout.
It's not the same person. It's not the same effect it had 3 years ago.
You get Trout.
It's Mike Trout who's having one of his worst seasons, which is really funny. Like you look at like how well he's doing, and to say it's one of his worst seasons is just comical, just because Mike Trout was the greatest thing, on MLB Diamond and like from like 2015 to 2019, essentially. Like 2012, honestly, to 2019. He was just unstoppable. He still kills the Mariners. It's that hasn't changed, but he's starting to rack up injuries along with a lot of other things. So I don't love it. I feel like that would be a trade that I would be more willing to make, if I'm honest.
Yeah, more willing.
Because you have him for longer. You don't have to trade away as much. I like it.
Okay. Hypothetical Diamondbacks trade for Trout.
You're really trying to get the Diamond.
I really like the Diamondbacks.
I'm convinced the Diamondbacks are a second favorite team now. They're not the Mariners anymore.
No, they're not my second favorite team. They're up there. I like them. I'll probably root for them in the playoffs. For Mike Trout, you give up Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Jordan Lawlar, Braden Paffett, and Ivan Melendez. So you keep Drew Jones.
I'm making that deal.
You're making that for both sides or just Diamondbacks side?
For both sides. Because so the thing with that, right? So assuming Drew Jones comes up next year, we'll just call it that. We don't know when. We'll call it next year that he comes up.
He's in low A. I don't think it's next year.
Maybe it's 2 years from now. Mike Trout's still there, assumedly. So you have Mike Trout, you have Corbin Carroll, and you have Drew Jones.
As well as you still have Alec Thomas, who can play first or go into your DH slot, which is why I kept Drew Jones. Is because like I don't think it's smart to trade both Lawlar and Drew Jones for Trout. That's two young top 10 guy prospects.
I'd rather trade somebody other than Fott.
Fott. Yeah, that's Fott.
Because I don't love the effect, because you assume that say we're looking 2 years ahead. Merrill Kelly's probably mostly out the. So you have Zach Gallen, and that's it.
Okay, how about Jordan Lawlar, Davison De Los Santos, Blake Walton, and Ivan Melendez.
I could do that. But I would want Fott to stay in town.
I can get behind that, but then it goes back. Can you trade for Trout without giving up two of your top three prospects? I don't know if that's the case. Maybe for the Diamondbacks, if you give them three of your top five.
Yeah.
But for most teams, probably not.
No. I mean, it just comes down to the quality of your farm system, right? Like, I'm not trading the Rockies top. Maybe the Rockies top three. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's a more
Commodore, Bean, and Yanquiel Fernandez. I think.
Yeah. It's a more Bean,
Amador, Bean, and Yanquiel Fernandez. So
yeah, Gabriel Hughes is your number 6. Dude, he's good.
He has a 6.21 ERA
in Double A.
That's combined across the two. I was doing in Double A. Yeah, no, that's not it.
Dude, no, but
you gotta give him time.
You gotta give him time. I saw one of his starts.
Wait, how old is he? That's the real question.
You guys just drafted him, so he's young. I think he's 19. He came from Gonzaga. He's 21.
Okay, so
he's young. He's drafted 10th overall. You gotta give him time.
Yeah, there's still time for him to really succeed.
All this. I mean, you have any more you want to talk about?
No, I think Shohei Ohtani is the biggest discussion. Shohei Ohtani is the biggest discussion out
With all this being said, I think the Cubs will not sell, but not really buy either.
No.
I think the Rockies will sell.
Well, the Rockies should sell. The Rockies have needed to sell. Like as Trevor Story and John Gray can attest to, they've needed to sell for the past like 5 years.
I think Ohtani stays put. I do think Trout gets dealt. I think there's an offer on the table that they just can't refuse.
Yeah. Ohtani doesn't get dealt.
I don't think so either, but I think
Let's
Trout
put it this
will.
way: one of the two gets dealt. I can't. I mean,
Or do
it,
the Angels
is,
buy?
it, is it a complete domino effect? No, that's kind of ambitious. That's kind of you really buy.
I mean, if they go all in, they buy Stroman. They're just like Zach Nino. Just throwing names out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just that's a tough ask because
what
the
if
last
they
time
go out and buy Elias Diaz and Randall Grichuk and Marcus Stroman? What if they buy all of them
and like a Tommy Edmond too.
and a Tommy Edmond? They completely
Still,
revamp their team.
it's a tough division. And you're going all in, on the hope beyond hope that Shohei Ohtani comes back next year.
Would you trade Mike Trout and Ohtani for Corbin Carroll, Jordan Lawler, and Drew Jones? And Ohtani says he'll resign.
No. Yes, if I'm the Angels, no if I'm the D-backs.
Yeah, I agree.
Because okay, what are the surrounding pieces at that point? It's Zach Gallen,
Lourdes Gurriel,
and Alec Thomas.
Christian Walker.
It's a slight upgrade in a tougher division.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna change.
But they would also have Ivan would come up sooner, and Ivan could be game changing.
Still, you're throwing darts at two people are throwing darts at the exact same wall, and they're expecting it to stick. It's nothing has changed from point A to point B. It's like the same. It's the same level of talent relative to the level of competition.
Ivan Melendez in AA is slugging over 2,000.
Well, he's an OPS over 2.
Yeah, OPS over.
He's a slugging of 1.5.
Yeah, but no, OPS is
1,545. Yeah.
It's
I got
2,000. Like, it makes sense.
Still, though, you're not getting enough value for.
What if you got to keep Lalo?
Then I think you pull it if you're the Angel, or you pull it if you're the D-backs, not if you're the Angels.
No, really. So there's no way this type of deal can get done and be a yes for both sides, you think?
No, I don't think so. At least, I mean, you have to mix in a lot of lower tier prospects instead of using one of those big three. Because the thing is, right, say the Diamondbacks lose all three, so they lose 1 and 2, so they lose Lawler and Jones plus Corbin Carroll. Your future's dead for a slight upgrade over what the Angels are now. Or if you just trade 2 of them, you just trade, Lawler and Jones, let's say. That's not a fair split. You're getting 2 prospects for 2 guys that are established as the two of the the best players.
Ivan and
somebody else.
And Blake Walton.
Still, that's a tough ask to ask, because the package has to be just right where it's not an overpay for Ohtani and Trout, but it's not an underpay where you forget that these are the 2 best players for the hopes of the success of a prospect. It's a tough ask for any team to muster up that much, talent.
Okay. If I think Ohtani and Trout were both on expiring deals this year,
it'd be a lot easier.
And they both told the Angels they both aren't re-signing, and so they were going to trade them.
Yeah,
I think the Diamondbacks should offer Corbin Carroll for those 2 because they know those 2 are leaving. Corbin Carroll for them.
In somebody else.
No, just Corbin Carroll because they don't want to ruin their future. They keep Jones, they keep Ivan, they keep Lala. They just trying to be the best player.
Or something like that. You need some.
Just Corbin Carroll for those 2 because the Angels know they're not getting them back.
You have one.
They get the best young player in baseball.
You get one MVP candidate for the guy who's guaranteed to win MVP this year.
But you know that he's not coming back.
It's a tough question. I think you try to get as much.
I do it.
No, not a chance.
No, there's no you talk to him, you can't get any more. It's It's Carroll or no deal. I think the Angels should do it if that was the case.
Yeah, but that's never going to be the case.
I
There's
know.
just too much value for those
That's
two.
why I said what if.
The problem with that what if is that Shohei Ohtani already is on an expiring deal, and the Angels are assuming that he isn't going to resign. And yet there's still massive packages coming through the door that are big, that are much bigger than Corbin Carroll.
I don't think there's a better player to get than Corbin Carroll right
Ronald
now.
Acuna Jr.
Yeah, but there's no way he can get traded because he's already established. Like Corbin Carroll is in his rookie year.
Yeah,
He's not fully established
yeah,
yet, so he's
they're gonna
more
lose.
expendable.
No, he's not expendable. There's no.
He's not.
There's
Expendable,
no
but he's more
way that the
expendable.
Diamondbacks trade him.
I agree. And this is a what if they got Trout and Ohtani. He's more expendable than Acuna is.
Okay, so we know that he's not. We know that they're not resigning with the Angels, but the Angels don't have the money to bring back both Trout and Ohtani. So, assuming that they were both on expiring contracts, they don't have the money to bring both of them back.
But they said they wouldn't resign with him no matter what, even if they had the money.
No,
So
I'm talking about with the
both of them
Diamondbacks.
are leaving.
I'm talking about with the Diamondbacks.
I think they could find the way to do it.
But then you lose, let's say you lose Lourdes Gurriel and then Alec Thomas, and you're right back to the situation where you're a slight upgrade of the Angels, where the Angels have had the two best players in baseball for the past 5 years and have been below 500 every single time.
Ohtani has not been one of the best players for 5 years. It's been 3 years that he's been one of the best players. He's been in the league for 5
Okay.
years.
The last 3 years they've had him. They've been below 500. The point still stands. These two players do not make a baseball team. And if you're going to throw the entire world at them, at the Angels to get that guy, you got to have a better system in place. And that's why I think the Braves are, if anybody's going to trade for him, it's going to be the Braves throwing the farm away because they have all of their young talent up.
I see what you said, but if the Diamondbacks only traded Carroll, they would still have Lalo, Drew Jones, like they'd have all these guys to come up. So they would be they'd be much better than the Angels were because they'd have these young guys.
If they resign them.
If they resign, yeah. This is supposed to be a fun one. You're just yelling at me now.
Yeah, because it's a crock.
It was a funny what if to end the episode on, and now I'm getting yelled at.
Because it's a crock.
I don't deserve this.
So let us know what your predictions are for Shohei Ohtani, because everybody seems to have a different idea of how this is going to happen. In my dreams.
The
absolute comedy would be the Rockies, because it would just be like the Rockies to get rid of all of their talent for half a year of Ohtani and then not re-sign him.
Dude, I would laugh so hard.
That'd be a very Rockies.
You would have to get an Ohtani Rockies jersey.
Rockies legend Shohei Ohtani, dude. Yikes. That would be really funny, though.
Sick.
All I'm saying is it would be comically funny if we traded away Zach Bean, Ade Almador, and like Drew Romo for Shohei Ohtani to leave in, December.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be comical.
That'd be a Rockies thing.
That would be a Rockies thing to do.
Rockies, get on the phone. Do it. Make it happen.
No, the only thing the Rockies need to make happen is their ownership getting out of town.
Trade the ownership for Ohtani.
Those guys are
Ohtani for president of baseball operations in Colorado.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate all this. You can't read it because, all that, but it says Ivan Melendez. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. We appreciate you every single week. Let us know what's going to happen for Shohei Ohtani and for all these other guys that have the possibility of being traded. Maybe like a Dylan Cease, something like that.
Dylan Cease, I think Cease gets moved.
So let us know. We will see you all next week. Peace. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate you doing it this week. I needed that.